Parenthood is out with its annual report. It shows abortions up by 11,000 last year. That's the highest number on record since 2011 to 2012. It's also an issue that takes center stage in the upcoming film Unplanned. That chronicles the transformation of former Planned Parenthood director Abby Johnson, who helped facilitate more than 20,000 abortions while working at the clinic, until a life-changing event turned her into a staunch pro-life advocate. Martha recently sat down with the film's lead actress, Ashley Bratcher. Take a look.
Let me tell you what's going to happen if you go in that door. The first thing they're going to do is give you an ultrasound, but they're not going to let you see it.
Why not?
Because they don't want you to see your baby.
And then why do they do the ultrasound?
Because the ultrasound determines the size of the fetus. And the size of the fetus, the skull in particular, is what determines the price they're going to charge you.
Why are you telling me this?
Because I understand better than anyone that inside that building, they don't offer solutions. They only offer abortions. And if you go through that door, you will not come out the same person.
So this is a woman, the woman that you play, who, was very dedicated to this cause. She said growing up, she didn't think all that much about it. She wanted to help women, and she thought Planned Parenthood was a good way to do that. What caused this transformation that had her talking to people through the gate and trying to get them to leave?
I think it was the undeniable revelation that she had when she stepped in to assist on a procedure, and she saw for the very first time what actually happens during an abortion procedure. I mean, the general public is completely blind to what the procedure entails, and seeing that, she knew for the first time that there really was life inside the womb.
And what about for you as an actress? What was this like? How did it challenge you, and how did it impact your own feelings about abortion?
Well, I never took this to be an issue as my platform. Okay, I had shades of gray in my opinion, like I've mentioned before. But after hearing Abby's testimony and listening to a firsthand account of what was going on behind the scenes and understanding everything that was happening, it just really opened my eyes to know that this isn't okay for me in any situation. And understanding, though, Abby's pro-choice position, because this was a woman who was a very strong feminist and pro-choice advocate to begin with. So anytime that someone has this moment in their life that they completely do a 180, that's such a compelling thing that you want to look at no matter which side of the argument you stand on.
Yeah, I read her account, and she said that she felt like the baby was fighting back.
Right.
And that was a real turning point for her. You have talked to your mom when you took this role, and it sort of opened a whole story of your mom's that you never knew. Can you share that with us?
Right. I had been on set for 4 days already before I spoke to my mother. And she called me, and I was out in Oklahoma, and I thought, okay, maybe I should tell my mom that, hey, I'm in Oklahoma. I'm a couple thousand miles away from home. And my mom had shared with me that when she was younger, she had had an abortion, and that when she became pregnant with me at 19, she knew she could never have another one. That was all that I ever knew of the story. And on that day that I was on set, when she called me, she had no idea what I was filming. And so when I went to tell her all about Abby's story, I wanted to be gentle and respectful of her feelings because I didn't want her to feel judged. And in explaining Abby's story and testimony, my mother just broke down completely. And she said, I need to tell you something that I never told you before. And I said, okay. And she's just weeping through the phone. And she said, you don't know this, but I was actually on the table. A pregnant nurse came in to examine me. And that was when I got up and decided to keep you. And I get emotional every time I tell this story because I don't know that it's ever going to go away when you look at your life and you think that everything that you've experienced almost never happened, just within a few seconds, a few minutes. And I think it was a really courageous thing for my mom not only to have me. Those are the stories I feel like we really should celebrate. This woman, she chose to struggle and empower herself to have me and to tell me. It took a lot of grace for her to tell me this.
It absolutely did. And it just makes you feel like you were put in this place for a reason.
Oh, most definitely.
To tell this story, and that you would never be in that place to tell this story had your mom not chosen life for you. And it's an incredible story, and I just think Abby's journey, you know, so sometimes the people who are the closest to these institutions are the ones who can see it the most clearly, ultimately. You know, do you feel like you're there's a number of films coming out now that there's an effort to kind of open young people's eyes to the whole story so that they can make more informed decisions? Of
course. I think that this film is really about educating people and creating awareness because so many people have no idea what's really happening. And in my generation specifically, I feel like we're asking more questions. You know, we might be divided on issues, but we want to be educated. And that's what this film does, because we look at the pro-choice side and we look at the pro-life side, and it's an unbiased, true story.
Yeah, I mean, I think anybody who approaches this, any thinking person, needs to just understand what the facts are in order to make their own decisions on all of this. Ashley, thank you very much for sharing your story with us and being here tonight, and best of luck with the film. It comes out
March 29th.
March 29th, and we will look forward to that. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good to see you tonight. Thanks.
You too.